now it's just all over the place. Everywhere you look, there are women just trying to get your attention so that you will partake of their nudity. So this is another indication of how there's this narrative of an ageless existence is being sold to women. Your attractiveness is just gonna go on and on and on. Your options are gonna be limitless. You'll always be able to get the attention of some man. Never, let anybody tell you that time's running out for you and that the wall is coming. So here we have a young lady or old lady, older lady, who made $630,000 in 2 years on OnlyFans. She's 55 years old, and she says it means that she can pay for things for her son's college and give him a better life. Now, I know what the guys are going to say, and I'm pretty sure what most of the women are going to say, and they're going to say, hey, you go, girl, anyway, you got anything you got to do to get that money. Hey, do whatever you got to do. I know what the guys are going to say. The guys are saying that basically, well, you're going to have all this money, but your son's not going to be able to walk the streets with his head up because everybody's going to know that his mom's been spread eagle on fucking OnlyFans, with her butt cheeks all open, Not to mention, excuse me, just hordes of men who are going to think that, they'll be able to shoot their shot because, she is, I want to say easy, but I mean, she is a more promiscuous minded individual. Although these women will try to make you believe that they don't really like sex, but they're just getting up here doing all of this stuff because it makes them money, which, I kind of believe some of that because, women will do damn near anything for money. Even more than what they would do for love. So I tend to kind of believe them. It's hard as all get out to get a woman to do things for a person who is a genuine person, but a fucking Pookie or a JoJo the Pimp or whoever who sweet talks her into doing some nefarious shit. She will get after it for them. But let's take a look at what she has to say about her time with OnlyFans and collecting all this money. Should be interesting. Alrighty, let's get on up here and take a look. Okay, there she is. She's not a bad looking lady. I mean, she's attractive, but you can tell she's kind of, she's older. But she can still get it. I think she can still get it. So, let's take a look. All right. I made $630,000 in 2 years as a 55-year-old OnlyFans model. It means I can give my son a better life and save for his college fund. Okay. You see her? She's got nice white teeth, pretty lips. One eye's a little bit bigger, higher than the other, but yeah, she looks pretty good. Nice busty young lady, or older lady, Yeah. Okay. So her name is Elaina St James. Miss Elaina St James made her OnlyFans account in spring 2021 and and the photo is courtesy of Elaina St James. Okay. All right. So Miss St James, a 55-year-old OnlyFans model, says she quit her job to create content full time. She made around $630,000 in less than 2 years through the subscription website. St. James says she's happier and can give her son a better life. Okay. Just 2 months after creating her OnlyFans account, Elaina St James quit her day job and became a full-time content creator. Okay. And less than 2 years later, the 55-year-old mom has already earned around $630,000 in less than 2 years through the subscription website. Insider has viewed, a insider has viewed documentation verifying her earnings. St. James said she's happier since ditching her day job and can give her son a better life. Okay. All right. Elaina St. James is a stage name she uses. Insider agrees to use this name to protect her privacy. In her 30s, St. James worked in consumer goods sales after having a baby at the age of 42. Jesus. Okay. So this goes into, what I talked about in my last show about this, these high-risk pregnancies, geriatric pregnancies, and she's one of these women who waited and waited and waited to have her child for her own selfish reasons. And never mind, what's good for the child. She has this son at 42 years old. Okay. And now, she's pressed for money and trying to raise this child, I'm sure, on her own. Because she didn't want the man, she just wanted the child. But I'm sure there's another story to try to explain away why she has a child at 42 and not a husband. So let's move on. She decided to step away from her career, instead working in car sales and then in an office job. So she doesn't have any skills, as evidenced by her profession. Okay, and prior to starting on OnlyFans, I was not social media savvy, she said. So this is proof that any dummy can get on OnlyFans and make a little money if they just look good. Just, kind of translating as I go here. So, but during the pandemic, she said she read an article about another mom making OnlyFans content. St. James said she was immediately interested. Okay, this good, wholesome older lady here, MILF, says she was immediately interested. Yeah. Okay. So after a month of research, she decided to bite the bullet. St. James created her own Instagram and OnlyFans accounts on April 1st, 2021. For the first 2 weeks, she posted photos and videos without her face. As soon as she showed her face, her account started exploding, she said. By the end of April, she had 10,000 Instagram followers and close to $2,000 in OnlyFans earnings. In her second month, she earned about $5,400, and in her third, this rose to nearly $11,000 in her fourth month. In July 2021, she made around $22,000. Her earnings rocketed towards the end of 2022 when she earned nearly $100,000 across November and December. Insider viewed screenshots verifying her earnings. Her subscribers pay $9.99 a month, with OnlyFans taking 20% of her earnings from the creation of her account. From the creation of her account to January 2023, St. James' two accounts have made nearly $800,000 through subscriptions, or around $630,000 after OnlyFans fees. She also makes some money through Fansly, platform similar to OnlyFans. St. James says she quit her day job 2 months after starting OnlyFans when she realized that she could earn more money by dedicating those hours to modeling. St. James said she usually posts 1 or 2 X-rated pictures on her OnlyFans each day, though she uploaded more at the start. In total, she has more than 1,300 photos on her account. On Friday, she posted pre-recorded 10-minute chat and flash. Let's see, we lost it there. 10-minute chat and flash sessions where she talks while taking her shirt off. Okay, St. James said that she thought her niche would be as a mature dominatrix and tried to create an online persona that was powerful, elegant, and classy, but she realized that this wasn't what her subscribers came to her for. Instead, they preferred her simply being herself, a wholesome, funny, positive, smiling, and little quirky Midwest mom, she said. I don't have a perfect body. I have a mom tummy. I have cellulite, she told Insider. Some young creators have told her she's an inspiration, St. James said. It makes me feel so much better about myself, she told Insider. You notice how, women are just, these women are inspired, by other buck naked activities. They just have to, they see another woman, she's just, she's, running around, body positivity and whatnot. And it just inspires them to do less and less, to keep themselves up and to go ahead and just be themselves and go out and just, do buck naked things just like this mom did, So all we hear nowadays is about women being inspired to do this or to do that. Okay. So, but only by women doing other things. They're not inspired by men telling them to do anything or by men working hard or any of that. They're not inspired by us. We're nothing. It's all about being inspired by Lizzo and Sierra, Beyonce, naked old ladies, whatever, They're inspired to basically be able to just run wild, like I said, like wild Mustangs, man. Wild ass hyenas just running around, yapping and just doing whatever the fuck they want. They don't want any rules. They don't want any accountability. They just want to be able to do whatever the hell they want. And they have these stories like this to inspire more girls to go do these buck naked activities. And then they'll tell us that just because they do these activities, that doesn't mean that they're of less value than a woman who doesn't do these activities. So they want to take away the hierarchy of good women and then street women and then straight get down hookers, All right. So I don't know how women feel about this, but you guys should be up in arms about, them taking the levels away. I don't think that that whole activities should be the same as like a debutante and a woman who is classy and, carries herself in a different way. So you mean to tell me that Condoleezza Rice is on the same level as a hoe on OnlyFans? That's how we're gonna play it now. Or Michelle Obama, is at the same level as, some chick out here popping her ass on all of the media platforms, social media platforms. Is that how we're supposed to rank women in the hierarchy of what kind of woman we want? What kind of woman is going to be a productive and inspirational mate for us, a productive helpmate for us in a marriage? I don't know. Maybe I'm off base, but I mean that's the way it looks now. I mean, you used to have to really bend over backwards to get your girl to do things like, take naked pictures, and, do threesomes and stuff like that. Now you ain't got to do shit. All you gotta do is just say, you ever thought about what? Doing a threesome, standing on my head, buck naked. She'll come up with all kinds of things that you won't even be able to get it out because she's already ready to do it. Who would have thought that in 2023 we'll be talking about people eating people's butts and whatnot? That's the type of stuff that we're seeing now, and it's just talked about like it's just nothing. You know, I remember when they played Houdini's "I'm a Hoe" song. You know, I'm a hoe on the radio. And do you know they used to have to beep out the hoe part? And they were up in arms because kids were telling them to play it over and over and over and over and over on the radio. And the adults on the radio, they almost refused to play it. But now we full speed. We're at warp 9, just full speed ahead. Whatever tickles your spots. So just think about that a little bit. There are no breaks, man. There are no breaks. There are no levels anymore. And all of this is encouraged and pushed by women. Crazily, that's where it is. You would think that it'd be men out here pushing all of this. But it used to be if a man was pushing all that, they would call him a pimp and throw him in jail and do all kind of stuff. Now women go out and say, "Hey, everybody get buck naked. I should be able to get buck naked. I should be able to be topless in Walmart." Then it'd be like, "Hey, don't body shame me. Don't. It's my body, my choice, and all of that." So they can do whatever the hell they want to do. Hey, I'm not judging because I like hoes. I love hoe activities. So I'm a little biased in this, because Miss St. James could get it from me. I'm just saying. I'm just presenting the information as I see it. You make your judgment as you see it. But by this story, you would think that you can make a hoe into a housewife. I don't know. Some people say that you can't, but I'll leave that up to you. Some of us want hoes and housewives mixed all together, like a two-flavored gummy bear. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, Miss St. James said her subscribers are young men in their 20s, 30s, who have an older woman fantasy they can only live out online. So these young guys can't get them an older woman to fulfill their fantasies. And if this was flipped on the other side, if it was some, old man up there, exploiting young 20 and 30-year-old girls, we already know what would happen with that. There would be lifetime specials, and that dude would be, hunted down from state to state and put in jail eventually for grooming, these young girls. So let's move on. They have an older woman fantasy they can only live out online, but not all her subscribers are young. One of her biggest supporters is a 79-year-old widower, she said. St. James, who has 5 Instagram accounts, posted a reel in which she wore a pink floral satin slip that she said cost her $8 from Amazon. The reel blew up. It's had 26 million views so far. I find it interesting because, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money, but a lot of these women out here, they want to go and spend $100,000 on $100 to $1,000 on some lingerie that Miss St. James just demonstrated that you really don't have to do all of that. And I agree with that portion of it, because sometimes I think, society has basically caused us to go overboard, especially women, with their potential for buying and propensity for buying. So she goes on to say, despite the success of her posts, St. James derives very little of her income from Instagram. Instead, she said she uses the platform, as well as Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Reddit, as marketing platforms to drive people to her OnlyFans. As of February 2023, she had 3,400 OnlyFans subscribers. She said her peak was around 5,500. St. James said she had a very close relationship with her teenage son. He knows that I'm a nude model, she said, adding that he had definitely seen her Instagram and TikTok posts. He rolls his eyes and calls it cringy, she says. So she just thinks this is a funny thing, but he has to go to school. He has to be around his classmates and all these other people. And I'm sure some of his friends have hunted down his mom's, OnlyFans, and they've been checking her out, you know. So, St. James' OnlyFans career has made her happy and allowed her to pay for a car, life insurance, and holidays, as well as start a college fund for her son and save for retirement. I wouldn't have been able to afford it without OnlyFans, she said. But it has made her dating life much harder, she said. Oh, here it comes. I try to keep it on the down low. I can't do this forever, St. James said of her OnlyFans career. She said she'd been contacted by porn companies but wasn't interested in that career path. I would like to stop by age 65, she told Insider. I'm not sure what the future holds, though. I would like to pivot to motivational speaking as I have many chapters to my life, she says. Okay? So, see, this is some more wishful thinking. You think you're going to go from being nude and shit to, switching it up and being a motivational speaker. Yeah, they're going to be motivated to see your ass naked. That's about as motivated as it's going to be. Every time they see you, they're going to be thinking about you naked. So I'm sure you're not going to close down that old account or those old accounts. So while you're motivational speaking, those people are going to be able to pivot right on over to your buck naked pictures and fantasize about you over there, which they will then go and look at you on the other. So I guess if it's a money making tool, yeah, you'll probably still be making money. And if you think that she's going to quit at 65, then you're crazy as hell. Because as time progresses and she starts to doubt herself and feel like she doesn't have it anymore and all of that, she's going to continue to get that validation through that OnlyFans site and her other sites, because there's not going to be any shortage of young men who have these fantasies about, older ladies, older attractive women, So that's not going to run out. So she's going to make money until she can't. Until she can't post any more photos, and then she'll continue to have that site up there. She'll probably talk to them and keep those photos up there and not really let people know what she looks like. We see plenty of, porn actresses that are doing the same thing. They're too old to continue to do it. Some of them take the leap and go back into porn as old ladies and do, GILF, content and whatnot. And, some just continue to sign autographs and, and do, and talk to people online and whatnot. But there are ways that they can continue to make this money. But, I think there are some lessons to be learned about this article. This article is I'm sure some people look at it like, oh, this is a fascinating opportunity. And then, but you have to look at how this is going to affect her son, his self-esteem, the way he interacts with people in society. People are going to know about what she does, and people are going to treat her son differently because of his mom doing what she does. In an ideal world, people will be able to look over these things and, act accordingly. But we know that the world isn't like that. So, like I said, it was an interesting story. Thought I'd share with you guys. I've got another one where that's probably the opposite of what happened in this one. And I'll share that with you guys. I'll see if I can scrounge that one up and do that one with the next one. But if not, it'll be the one after that one. But totally opposite results. And the same thought process from the mom. So you guys let me know what you think about the article in the comments. I will leave a link to the article so you can check out Miss St. James. And like I said, we'll talk in the comments, and you guys let me know what you think. Ladies, if you're watching, I'd love to see what you think about this as well. I appreciate you guys watching. And like I said, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you like the content, hit that notification button so that you'll be made aware of my latest content as it drops. And like I said, I appreciate you guys. Have a good night, evening, or whenever you're watching. And I will see you guys on the next one.